Hey everyone, what's going on? It is Zach, and today we are going to talk about some news we got for Pokemon Champions. Now, it was announced that Pokemon Champions will be coming to iOS and Android mobile devices starting June 17th. I actually thought this was really surprising. I definitely thought that we would not see the mobile version until after Worlds, but like they said, that the mobile version was a priority for them. So it's good to see that they are on track on getting stuff out so they can add more stuff to the game once mobile is fully functioning and they work the bugs out. But with this announcement, they're letting us know that if you use the mobile version, if you download it, you will get the Mega Stones for Raichu X and Raichu Y. So we got some information on Mega Raichu X and Mega Raichu Y, including their abilities. So now we're able, now that we know the stats and the abilities, which one of them was pretty obvious from trailers, we can now actually plan on how they might be used in Pokemon Champions. So if you guys enjoy this, don't forget to like and subscribe, hype up the video, all that garbage, and let's talk about it. So Mega Raichu X has Electric Surge. We now have a Mega Pokemon setting terrains. So I would have to say, when we see these Pokemon come to Pokemon Champions, I would not be surprised if other terrain setters will come with it. So Indeedee, Weezing, Pincurchin, Rillaboom, and so this will probably be a big shakeup to the metagame if we're getting all the Surge terrain setters. But at the same time, like, as much as I think I'm okay with not playing Terrain Wars and Weather Wars at the same time, having just one terrain is too strong in a sense. You need a way to balance it out. And so I would not be surprised if we saw the Rillaboom, if we saw the Pincurchin, the Arboliva, if we saw those terrain setters or those Pokemon that are capable of setting terrain on Switch In, like Indeedee, female. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw them come as well. And Mega Raichu Y has no guard, which is kind of an okay ability. It doesn't really take advantage of it. It actually probably hurts it more than it does take advantage of it, because you also, while you can't miss attacks can't miss you as well with no guard. So let's jump into it. I want to say right now my favorite, and let me know in the comments down below, like, which one are you leaning towards? I'm leaning towards Y, even though it's a glass cannon. It does definitely seem like there is a lot more utility and a lot more things that you can do with Mega Raichu X, especially setting that Electric Surge, goodbye Pavilion, Blastoids teams, because this will completely counter it. But it doesn't really shake up the meta as much as you think, because Garchomp is very heavily used. And if you don't run these mons in a certain way, like, you aren't getting the most out of them. So Mega Raichu X is a lot bulkier, and you can actually run it in multiple ways. The first way is just the flat out physical damage with Volt Tackle, Fake Out, Protect. You could always not have Fake Out if you don't need the Fake Out, but Fake Out is a solid move overall, especially if you want to maintain board state control. But this set right here, I mean, Play Rough is only doing 70%, so you're still proccing the Citrus Berry, and that's if they have like the HP. Granted, like, if you take away like all the HP, you're still not knocking it out. So it's not the best against Garchomp, obviously, so that is definitely going to be a problem that you're going to have to balance out in your team, and I'm going to talk about that later. Glimmora, it does take an Earth Power, and this set right here with the Garchomp with 12 HP and 5 defense, it is a roll in their favor to knock out the Raichu, but you can try to survive it. I don't recommend it though. Raichu's special defense is not bad. So Earth Power is going to do 72 to 85, so you can easily take an Earth Power. So that's really good with Mega Raichu X. King Gambit here, you're taking pretty standard damage. You can make sure that you survive the Kowtow's Cleave and the Sucker Punch, but really against something like a King Gambit like this, for example, you're still taking a whole lot of damage. Zard Y gets deleted, so we'll have to see how Zard Y responds to this, because right now, like, Zard Y and Garchomp are king. Is this going to be a problem for Charizard? Or not really, because Garchomp's there pretty often. Tyranitar, especially the Mega Tyranitar, shakes off a lot of the attacks from Mega Raichu X, and then Charizard X as well, just knocks it out. And so you can do some good damage, but it's not even trades. And so right now, it's looking like if you don't play it the right way, like, you're not going to be treating well against the common meta Pokemon like the Garchomp and the Glimmora, the King Gambit, the Tyranitar, the Charizard. Yes, you have a great matchup against the Charizard, but there's also, you could do something like a Mega Salamence mix set, where you are taking advantage of the Electric Surge for rising voltage, and then you're also taking advantage of it with your Volt Tackle, and you can tack Play Rough on there as well, so at least you can do something to Garchomp. And then there's also, like, you can just go straight special with the Mega Raichu X as well. Because of that Electric Surge, like, you're still boosting your electric type damage, so the 90 special attack on the Mega Raichu X isn't really that bad, especially with rising voltage doubling the power of the attack if the Pokemon is touching that electric terrain. We have Electro Waves for speed control, and then Fake Out as well. So that's kind of like Mega Raichu X. I kind of looked at different ways to try to live certain things. So a little bit of bulk here and there. Like, you can still do a lot with 25 EV points in attack, especially with an Adamant Nature. And then you can also play around with, like, the speed and stuff for what you need. Because right now I believe this is speed tying. It will speed tie Charizard X. Yeah, so an Adamant 32, it's going to be with 22 EVs and speed, like, you're speed tying, so you could always add one more to make sure that you outspeed the Zard X. The Zard X isn't as common. It did have a top 8 at Indianapolis, so it's not something you can completely just scoff away. The next one is the one that I kind of like a little bit more because it can do a whole lot. And so this one's kind of a bit of a glass cannon with 55 defense, 60 base HP, and 80 special defense. You kind of have to invest a decent amount, and we've kind of seen that with AZ's Floret. Now, it doesn't hit as hard, but you can still hit pretty hard here with just 10 stats and attack on a Modest Nature. Unfortunately, with the Modest Nature, you're not outspeeding Sneaslers. You would have to go Timid for that. If you go Timid, you can actually take a few points out of speed and make sure that you outspeed the Sneasler. And so if you're a Mega Raichu Y that's running Fake Out, that could be good as well, to have that option to outspeed the Sneasler. And so Electric Web, Zap Cannon, because of the No Guard, you actually do take advantage of Zap Cannon here with 120 power, 50% accuracy, but with No Guard, it's 100%, and it always paralyzes. So that could be a really good thing to hit Mons with really hard. And if you don't knock them out, at least you're paralyzing them and slowing them down for your partner Pokemon. And I want to say the best move that you could tack onto your Mega Raichu Y is obviously Focus Blast, or as a lot of people tend to call it, Focus Miss. But with no guard, you don't have to worry about its 70% accuracy that feels like it's 20. This is just two really strong 120 base power moves that are going to do really well. And this actually helps out. And so with this spread here with the 15 HP, the 10 defense, the 10 in special attack, and the 30 speed, you can actually, I was looking at who do we want to hit with fighting moves. And of course, the first one is King Gambit. Now, if you are running this Mega Raichu Y with just 10 points in Modest, you are easily deleting any King Gambit. Like, it's a guaranteed OHKO with black glasses. And if it's the Choppleberry set, then you have a 6.25% chance to OHKO. You can probably tweak that a little. If you're running max, you can definitely knock it out. Even if you're max with the Choppleberry, it's a roll in your favor, but it's still a roll. If you can get some chip damage on the King Gambit, like, you can always guarantee the roll. And so that is really good to deal that much damage, but we want that bulk here because Raichu, being a glass cannon, is a victim of Sucker Punch and priority attack. So that's something that you're definitely going to have to plan for. Without this bulk, like if you're just running max attack, max speed, you can get, like, there's a possibility to get one shot by a max attack King Gambit, especially if it has the black glasses. Like, let's just get rid of this here. And yeah, so Sucker Punch from Adamant is doing 80 to 95%. That's with the Choppleberry. If you go black glasses, which we're seeing them pretty split now, like, it's a roll in their favor to knock out with just a Sucker Punch. So that's something that you're definitely going to have to plan for. I think it was 10, 15, right? Yeah. But even then, like the Tyranitar and Sand, it is a roll to hit or to KO, and they're favored to survive. But if the Sand is gone, like Tyranitar, Mega Tyranitar is deleted, and that's Mega Tyranitar. So if the Tyranitar doesn't Mega, Focus Blast is always a guaranteed knockout, even in Sand. So that is something that you can factor in. So these Focus Blasts are also going to hit things like Iceon Arcanine and Ice types that aren't Alolan Ninetales pretty hard. And if it's not hitting them hard, Zap Cannon and Electro Whips will. Focus Blast is pretty good against the Zard X. Zap Cannon also does that as well, and then you get the guaranteed paralysis, and then Mega Charizard Y just gets deleted. Unfortunately, though, the Mega Raichu Y with this set is doing maybe 50% with Focus Blast against Garchomp, but then it's not living an Earthquake ever. It can one-shot a Glamora and survive an Earth Power because its special defense is a little better than its physical defense. But most Glamoras that we see are the Focus Sash, so that is something that you have to factor in. But if it's got some chip damage, you can just wipe it out with Zap Cannon. Funnily enough, with Mega Raichu X and Y coming, this actually makes base Raichu a little better because base Raichu has the Lightning Rod, so you can get a special attack boost by soaking up electric attacks. So this can steamroll very quickly, and to that effect, you can have your base Raichu sit in front of another Raichu, and then you kind of have to play Mega Chicken here, where you have to figure out, okay, like, do I not Mega because they're gonna Mega and I want to keep the Lightning Rod, or do I want to delay my Mega because they might Mega? So Raichu versus Raichu matchups are actually going to be tricky unless you have a Garchomp. Let's be real. If you have a Garchomp, you don't have to worry about it. But with that being said, I wanted to think of what Pokemon actually benefit. So here, Garchomp actually benefits as well because it's going to be more powerful. It's going to have another Mega that it's going to check. And any kind of water type has to worry about Raichu, and Garchomp doesn't mind the support that Raichu can offer with its strong electric attacks and speed control with Electro Web. Mega Raichu Y in particular, because it's such a glass cannon, you're going to want to stop priority, and Farigiraf can be good here. If the if the terrains are coming back, then I could also see them introducing the seeds into the item store. And so electric seeds will give a boost to the defense, right? Yeah. Grassy and electric are defense. The other two are special defense. So Farigiraf can take advantage of this. We saw this with the Arbega Miraidon set and Reg G. Was it Reg G? Reg J, whatever it was, the double restricted format. We actually saw Farigiraf do really well with that. In the single restricted format, we saw the electric seeds for Farigiraf really benefit from that defense boost and just make it harder to take down Farigiraf itself. Once I said, again, Garchomp does well against the Raichus, and Garchomp doesn't mind support from Raichu here. Now when I'm looking at supporting both of these Raichus, I think both of them could benefit from some support, more the Mega Raichu Y than the Mega Raichu X, because Mega Raichu X has a little bit more bulk, but Garchomp is going to be scary against it. What does Garchomp hate? Snow, Blizzard, Alola Ninetales could be really good here. You have the Aurora Veil to help add some bulk to both of these Pokemon to let them hit more. You have Blizzard to threaten those Garchomps, to threaten those ground types, to threaten those dragon types that are going to kind of scoff at the strong electric type attacks. Encore will help with Pokemon that are protecting and trying to control the pace of the game, so you can always tack a different move into here. An Icy Wind if you're not running Electro Web on your Alolan Raichu, but Encore is a very strong move here, and so Alola Ninetales does have the potential to actually support Raichu, especially the Y, very well. And I think another two Pokemon that actually benefit from working with Raichu, whether it's the X or the Y, is the Sinistcha and Incin. Once again, Incin with Intimidate and damage mitigation, with whether it's through Intimidate or it's through Parting Shot. Incin could be your Fake Out Mon if you don't want to carry Fake Out on your Raichus. They both don't like Garchomp, but the Sinistcha is there for healing and redirection. Also, a way to prevent Trick Room. Like with your Farigiraf and your Sinistcha, not only are you giving redirection or blocking priority, but you're also having those ways to stop Trick Room. Because one thing we note about all the Raichus is that they are pretty fast. Like in this metagame, 110 is fast. Mega Raichu X also has that 110, and Mega Raichu Y goes up to 130. It is a pretty speedy mon here. And if it's using Electro Webs for speed control, you don't want your opponent setting Trick Room up. So I think the Sinistcha, like Incin Core, actually benefits both of these Raichus very well. And if you're trying to prevent priority, especially with that Mega Raichu Y, because King Gambit is going to try to play around it and knock it out with the sucker punches, Farigiraf kind of prevents that. And the electric terrain on the Mega Raichu Y, if the seeds come back, can benefit Farigiraf, but if not, you just run a Citrus Berry or a Culver Berry, and you can still handle it very well. But that's it. I'm excited to see where these go. I'm excited to see what they do with Regulation MB. We talked about it. Evan and I talked about it a little bit in his interview, how we want to see Reg MB shake out here. I would love to see them get rid of all the old Megas and just bring in any Mega that wasn't an MA. But with Worlds on the way, I don't want that to happen because that would clear out a lot of work. But yeah, this is really interesting. It's really exciting. I don't know how often I will play champions on my phone. Like, it might be something where I just do casual, but I'm excited to give it a try. I don't like games on my phone. If I'm gonna sit down and play a game, I'm gonna do it on the Switch, the console that I paid money to play games on. I'm not big into the emulation or any of that, so like, I just like my Switch. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. What are you more excited for, Mega Raichu X or Mega Raichu Y? Are just having more threats against Charizard? Let me know. That's gonna be all. Till next time, I'm Zach, and we'll see everyone later.